Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the 112th character in this long-running series of newcomer ideas of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Newcomer character ideas for the next Super Smash Bros. Game. We are still on the road to 150. That's my limit. I'm going to get there. I'm very close. I'm at 112 right now with this video. But as I mentioned in the last video with 111, Bill Reiser and Lance Beaton from the Contra franchise. For those of you who haven't watched that video, I please recommend you go check that out, especially if you love Contra. I think the video turned out pretty well. This video is going to be talking about another Sega character, another Streets of Rage character. I've already talked about Axel Stone, about character 101, 2-ish. I forgot now where I had him at, maybe in the 90s. Somewhere in there. I talked about him a while ago. Go check him out if you want to see more Streets of Rage love, but I want to talk about another character from that franchise, as I mentioned in that video. This time we're talking about Blaze Fielding for Streets of Rage representative. And as always, before this intro gets way too long, 3 separate categories. Why does the character make sense? Moveset ideas and percentage chance I can see him actually getting in. So first and foremost, why Streets of Rage? Before I even get to talking about Blaze, why represent Streets of Rage at all? Well, Streets of Rage is one of Sega's most iconic and biggest franchises, I feel. It was very popular back in the day. It was rivaling, Final Fight on Nintendo. It was exclusive to the Sega Genesis. It wasn't like an arcade type of game thing. People love it. It included like in all of their collections of Genesis games, and it's a fondly remembered franchise, and characters from it cross over all the time. Like whether it's Axel or Blaze or whatever, it's an iconic franchise from them, just the same as a Sakura Wars or Crazy Taxi or Phantasy Star. And there's a lot of franchises from Sega that could easily join Sonic the Hedgehog if they don't decide to do another secondary Sonic character. That could be easily represented in Smash Bros. They've been around since the Genesis, they've been around since the Saturn, they've been around since the Dreamcast. Long-running series that's super iconic, or a super popular recent one that's still semi-iconic in its own right, like Yakuza or Valkyria Chronicles. They have all these other franchises, and Streets of Rage is one of them, and people fondly remember that game back then. If they didn't grow up with it, there's a lot of people that played beat 'em ups much years later. These younger kids, the younger generations, are still playing this game throughout these Genesis packages, like the collections and stuff. So they have experienced at some point, or the Wii Virtual Console or eShop or whatever. They have experienced these games. They are loved. They are popular, and it was one of Sega's biggest franchises back then, alongside Sonic and stuff. So and Ristar and everything. So I throw it in the same category as like a Shenmue or a Yakuza or a Valkyria Chronicles or a Sakura Wars or a Crazy Taxi or whatever. So yeah, there's that. And Streets of Rage 4 is coming. Like, it's the next big franchise from it. It's going to be on the Switch. The series is making its return from the dead, so marketing is really good choice for that. There you go. And like Blaze specifically, she's one of the major characters in the game. She's been included in every single Streets of Rage game since the first one. So she's in the series just as much as Axel. And she's crossed over like him too. Now Axel's crossed over into like Project Crosszone. I don't know if Blaze was specifically in Project Crosszone. I never got super far in those games. But I know she's crossed over in something before, and I'm sure she's made a Nintendo appearance before in something, some sort of Sega crossover before. Maybe that one game on the DS, that Sega Namco cards, Capcom, the Sega, whatever, SNK Capcom thing. There was some sort of crossover, I recall, like a card game. And I think it had Sega in it too. Or maybe it was just SNK and Capcom. I don't know. She has made crossovers before. Now, Axel is legitimate because he's a major character in like Project Crosszone and everything, but I do believe she's been in crossovers too. But the series itself has had crossovers, so even if she didn't specifically have a crossover appearance, Axel's already done it for her. The series has already done it for her. It's been on Nintendo before. It really makes sense, really, in the long run, that even if for her to even stand a chance, just like Axel Stone. So that's for her. Moveset ideas. Now, she has a specific style to her. Like Axel, I think was like trained, if I recall, was trained like kickboxing and boxing and whatnot. And he's the average fighter. She's more of like the fast but at least strong person. Sorry about that. Like in the games, like so she's gonna be a faster character, so she'd be faster than Axel, but be not as strong. So she's more combo heavy and dealing damage, but her hits won't be as strong. But see, that's the weird thing is like later games kind of made her more all around. So you can technically make her like Axel. So do you want to make her faster but not as strong, or you want to make her all around and make her like Axel? It depends on how you want to go about it. But basically, she's more of a faster character but not as strong in general, at least in the first game. But she knows how to do judo and sambo. She's trained in those martial arts, judo and sambo. So that's how her moveset kind of goes. She's like the master of judo. She like a lot of descriptions online talk about her as being some sort of master of judo. She's trained heavily in judo, so her smash attacks are going to be a lot of judo punches and kicks, like sambo punches and kicks. Look at play Streets of Rage games. See how she punches and kicks. Those are her smash attacks. She does a lot of smash attacks that are based off judo and sambo. So there you go. There you go. That's basically just, like I said, with the fighting game characters like Mitsurugi and Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Terry Bogard. Throw them into the game. Throw their moves just right into Smash Brothers, like Ryu does. And then she also could do a double hit with a knife, which is basically a Streets of Rage 2 special ability for her. So she can do knife attacks. I didn't put any weapons on Axel because I was trying to go for the police aesthetic for him. And even though she's a police aesthetic like, he is, she's super, relevant, heavy, and trained in knife combat. So I'd like to throw one little weapon in for her, doing a knife. So her smash attacks are a bunch of judo and sambo punches and kicks. She can do chops. She can do knee strikes. A lot of this stuff. Like, that is some major moves for her. And she also can use a knife. Her her throw move, she can throw someone. She could basically, like when she grapples someone and can throw them, it's basically a body slam throw. It's a judo throw. Bam! Like how Axel just does a back suplex. Like a wrestling back suplex, she just judo throws someone to the ground. So when you grapple someone and throw them, that's how you just slam them into the ground. Her special attacks are more of her special abilities, something that's more akin to her. And she can do basically a chi blast attack. So when she punches, she can do a little chi out of her energy. Like, because she trains in judo and sambo, so I'm assuming they made her so she can be one with her chi and her spirit kind of thing. Basically, it's called the Wind Blast. It's basically a chi blast attack called the let me see if I can pronounce this. Kikoshiko. So basically, she just does an attack and it does a little like, yeah, and a little wind blast comes out of it. So it's not ranged, but not like close range. It's like it's a mix between a ranged attack and an up close attack. So it's like in the middle. She could also do a cartwheel kick called the. Okay, I'm gonna really Mbukyako. I'm butchering these names, aren't I? And then she can do like the flying double. What is considered a flying double cut? The Hishoshu-san. It's a forward somersault that can stun opponents with her fist. So she's like somersaults, flying forward and hit someone with like a flying somersault type kick. So there you go. And that's her moveset for the most part. Smash attacks are a lot of judo and sambo punches and kicks, some knee strikes and chops, and hitting people with knives. Her special attacks are the chi blast strike, wind blast, a cartwheel kick, and a flying double cut, which is like a forward somersault, stunning opponents with her fist. So if you probably hit him properly, you can probably stun your opponent. Her final smash, I'm giving her the same thing I gave Axel, and it's a nice representative of the first Streets of Rage game, and it's the police car, special attack. Because in the first, for those of you that don't know, haven't played the first Streets of Rage, if you use the special attack, you summon the police car, they come out, they shoot a giant rocket launcher, hits the stage, and automatically like KOs any opponent. So they're like, she gets like a walkie-talkie, calls in the police car, cutscene happens, the police is like, fire! And the opponent just hits the stage, and then blows people off the stage. There's your final smash. Percentage chance I can see her getting in. It's there, but I definitely would put her lower than Axel because I think Axel's more the mascot of the series, and I gave Axel a 50% chance. I'm giving her 30. I'm going to give Blaze Fielding a 30% chance because I think she's the next one they would choose. I think like Axel is like the main mascot because he's been in like all the games. He's been in every single game just like Blaze, but I think he's more the iconic face of the franchise, and Blaze is like right behind him. And I think those are the two major choices for the game. I don't think they'd go for Skate or Max or that Kangaroo from number 3 or whoever that other guy is from. There's like an old guy in 3. It's been a long time since I played 3rd Streets of Rage. I can't remember the characters in that. But they're the two main iconic ones. They've been in all 3 of them. But like Axel stands out as like the main mascot of the franchise, and I think they heavily advertise him more, especially when he's in more crossovers like Project Cross Zone. 30% chance it's there. It's possible if they don't want to go for Axel Stone. But if we get a Streets of Rage character at all, it's going to likely be Axel Stone. But Blaze would be cool too, and I think she stands a chance. I'd just say 20% less than him. So that's it for Blaze Fielding Streets of Rage. And put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys like my moveset ideas? What moveset would you give her? Is 30% too high, too low? Is the police car car special attack cool? Because I think it's a good representative of the first game. My reasons why she should get in, or Streets of Rage should be represented in general, makes sense. What reasons would you say? Discuss it down there. We can have fun. That's it for character number 112. When I come back next time, my next set of recordings for characters I want to talk about with character number 113, I want to talk about a really, really classic set of characters from Taito, arcade game characters, Nintendo characters that have been around since the 80s. I want to talk about Bubble Bobble, and I want to talk about Bub and Bob. See you all next time. Bye.